Hello, I am Anthony, and I make homecrate. Homecrate is a local music player, and also a spatial DAW, a digital audio workstation. So this allows you to build music using. There's some built-in plugins like a neural amp modeler that has impulse response and also the ability to add reverb at the end of the chain. And yeah, so this is the default view when you download the app. This is just the library view, and it has at the top we've got the tuner, so we can check if my guitar's in tune right now. It's not, so we got that. And I'm just picking standard tuning, so things are very easy to understand. So let me just get this in tune, and it's pretty quick to catch a tune. You'll see here that I'm having no problem getting it centered up. You can long press onto it, and you've got a strobe tuner, so we'll see now that, yeah, E's looking pretty good. Yep. And it's close enough. Everything here is going to move around as I play, so just for demo purposes, this is seeming to be okay. And you'll notice here in the tuner at the bottom, underneath your current note, it'll let you know what chords you are playing and tell you the related chords to the left and right. And it's pretty good at picking up a sample. You'll see that. And yeah, it's kind of hit and miss. Anyway, the tuning works really great, and that's just more of a helpful tool just to help you kind of see what you're playing. I'm going to improve that a little bit. I have some ideas on how to make that a little more precise and getting a better average of what you're playing, and maybe you need to strum it a few more times, but anyway. So yeah, that's the tuner. There is a standalone metronome, and the standalone metronome will match whatever you want it to do. So there, you can actually set samples. If you long press on the 4 steps, you can browse for samples to be in the place of each of these steps, or you can change how the accents work. So if we want it to be the 2, there you go, it's better just to play it. Or if you wanted to not play anything on that second step, or nothing up those. Oh, and we gotta play. Forgot when I changed those, you gotta push play. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, this is really nice. It's got for practicing with drums, like that's what I use it a lot for. Yeah, you've got your different time signatures. So let's see. We probably don't want all of those to be. Yeah, there we go. So we get 7/8. And then you've got the tap tempo. You can also set it for 8s, triplets. Wow, that is a trip, literally. Yeah, so you can find some really interesting grooves this way. And it was insanely hard to get that green line in the middle to hit on the beat. It's a lot of trial and error for that. Anyway, so that's the standalone metronome. And then we've got the standalone amp. Standalone amp is, and right now I'm viewing this as a free user, so you can see everything that you can do as a free user before you even have to buy. It's a one-time buy, $9.99. Yeah, so I try not to be too annoying with these little banners at the top and not get in the way. But the only thing that you can't do in free mode is use your own NAM profiles. Like, this is just to help sustain the project, of course. So yeah, I've got captures though of my twin reverb that sits behind me, and the twin is this is an A2 profile that I captured, And then you can also pick an IR cabinet, but let's just go ahead and hear just the simple the twin reverb. In the settings, you can pick what your output is. So I've picked the Fender Blink interface that I'm using. And it's always muted by default. That's just to avoid blowing your speakers unintentionally. So I'll unmute it, and I'm going to mute my mic. And maybe you want to do something like you want to bring the EQ up. On the bottom here, there's these 4 knobs, or 5 knobs, it's a 5-band. And the high end here, you can kind of give it more high end. I like to always filter out all the low end, because I'm not really doing anything with low end. Yeah, so something like that. And then there's also the reverb here. You can give it just a little bit of space to it. Throw a lot of size and a lot of decay. And it's more meant to just give it like a room sound more than just like a blown out reverb. And if you want to overdrive the amp, you can. So what I do is I pull the output back to like 0.73, and then I go really high on the input. And I'm just in the middle position on my Mustang, so this is a Player 2 Mustang, standard pickup, so... And then you can pull back on the input and then pump up the output, and you get this kind of a... It's more of a cleaner sound, I think. And we'll take off the reverb. And yeah, you'll probably do much cooler things. I'm not the best guitarist. I'm not great at all, but I like playing, so that's why I made this. Yeah, so that's the amp. You can also use the, there's a camera that you can use for like making videos. So here I am right here, hi. And you can use the, on the right button, that's the screen recording. On the left button is the camera, to just take what's in there as its own capture with all the backing audio. Screen plus camera allows you to do a screen recording, and that's really cool if you want to like make content for like Instagram or whatever you want to post to. And you can make it both sides where it faces both directions and gives you a 2-up display. And you can flip the camera and do all kinds of stuff like that. You can also resize it if you want to make it bigger, like that. Yeah, and that's really handy for doing quick videos and like maybe pedal reviews or things like that if you want to do those. I've been wanting to do some. That's kind of why I've got some pedals going on down there. And for the pedals right now, I've just got like I've got the Big Muff 2, that red one over there, and that's just parallel mixed in with I've got over here we've got the treble overload, which is extremely loud, so I'm throttling that back right now. Actually, just pull that back. Yeah, so you can hear that a lot better. And that's going into a super feedbacker and distortion. That's going into a reverb X, and then there's just got those 2 channels mixed in with the clean, and I can just turn the clean off and get... But yeah, that's kind of that really high-end trebly sound I've been going for lately. But yeah, they mix really well. The pie, or not pie, the big muff to getting just the clean signal and being mixed in with something being really like trebly overdriven. Yeah, anyway, so that's enough about pedals. Let's get back into the recorder and all of the fun stuff you can do in homecrate. Now the big thing is the recorder. The recorder it's a full DAW, it's 8 tracks. It's intentionally limited to 8 tracks, but you also get 8 MIDI tracks, and these can all be MIDI clips that are sent out to hardware instruments or AUV3 instruments, and that's really fun because you can sync all your AUV3 content with your tracks, your backing tracks. So I already have an amp added. Let's go ahead and just remove it. If I long press on a slot, I can replace it or remove it, actually. Oh, we can add one. Okay, so yeah, so I'll go ahead and select the amp, and we've got the amp on slot 1. And you're not going to hear sound when you do this because you need to arm recording, which will start to get sound, but you won't get monitored sound until you hit the microphone icon next to the track name, and that's just to prevent from overdriving or getting unwanted sound through your speakers. So yeah, so my guitar right now is going through the amp and plugin, and it's got recording monitoring on. If I turn off the monitoring, we still are getting the signal, and we could record that. If you ever want to record something, you can turn on monitoring, and when monitoring is enabled, by default it'll do a 4 count in, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you record. But you can turn on your metronome here at the top next to the transport controls, and so like right now I can just do something very simple. I'll just hit the record button. So there we go, I've got some kind of recording here, and then you can drag on the ends to pull that those parts that you want to cut out. So like, let's see, where does it end? So it ends right there, so I just want to pull back the handle. Whoops, sometimes it's a little finicky. And that'll snap into place. So then, if we long press on this, we can duplicate it to where it'll repeat that a second time. And yeah, so you can duplicate that however many times you want, so then you have like a loop phrase to start doing stuff over. So now that I'm done with that one, I can go ahead and go on to another track and add another amp onto it if I want. And then I can turn on monitoring, and it's really quiet because I haven't selected a profile yet, so I'll go ahead and select twin reverb again because I just can't get enough of my twin. So then, I don't even know what I played, but you can play and hear yourself over it. Anyway, so you can start jamming out over that and doing layers. So then now that I got something, so I think it's somewhere around there. So if I do this now, I can... So obviously on a bad take, you can just kind of stop the recording, and you can long press on the clip and delete it. So then you can turn on monitoring again and have a redo. I forget the notes, so I just want to see. Alright, that's good. So yeah, so then we can just like... Anyway, so then you got like a clip that you can drag around. So then let's say I just do that, and then now I can long press and duplicate that. So then I got those 2 layers that should, I mean, this is musically not interesting or correct, but it lines up. Yeah, so it loops, but may not be the most interesting thing or good. But that's kind of how you could start a track. And then now that we've got like this kind of backing track, maybe we want some drums. Homecrate comes with a really it's more of an ode to the S950 more than it is a recreation of it, but it offers a lot of the same parameters that a Kai S950 sampler would give you. So you have like time stretching, you can do real-time sampling. So like let's just do that right now. Let's sample the guitar. So there we go. I've got some signal coming in. It could be a lot louder, so I'm just gonna pump up something. Let's see. I don't know. Just need more volume. And maybe go with maybe the middle. That's fine. So then we go into the drum, we can sample now. So all sound that is being monitored can pipe through to the drum machine and the sampler. So you'll see here we've got the sound coming through. What this knob here on the right does is it's your threshold to start recording. So when I set that to about right there and I arm it, I can do a strum to start recording. I guess I need to go a little louder. Or maybe lower on the threshold. Let's try again. Maybe my threshold's not high enough, or low enough. There we go. So now that that's recorded, we can select it's gone to the kick, so you can see that the kick is red, so that's where that's going to go. If you hit the enter key, record key, sorry, you'll see now we've got this recording, and we can do stuff with it. One thing that I would probably want to do is do some fun like pitch changes. Yeah, so that is the pitch, but we could also do time stretching. So if I cut the time in, I don't know, just 69%, and then we can go up on the pitch. You can also use your knob to turn. Yeah, anyway, this is not anything coherent, but you can also open the sequencer, and since that's assigned to the kick, we can put one at the start of every, I don't know, just every measure here, or every half measure. So yeah, it's not in time or anything. We could turn off the click, but you can build your sequence. And once you have a sequence that you like, you can hit the copy button here. And what that's going to do is copy that to MIDI. So if I close this, and we go to the MIDI tab, and we long press, we can then paste that exact phrase that we built in the sampler, and that's ready to go. And from there, in the on the mixer channel, you can set where the output of that goes. So I can say that goes to the drum, and now that pattern will go straight to the drum as we want. It can also go to an AUV3 as well as an output to like MIDI, so then you can like control gear outside of your software. So yeah, that's the audio, that's the MIDI. Looping is interesting. You can long press to set a loop start, and setting a loop start, you can then tap where you want to put the loop end, long press, set the loop end, and then if you turn on looping with this little these arrows here going in a circle, we should be able to play. And it's a mess, so we will kill that, mute that, and we can do Yeah, anyway, so that's looping. Looping's got a few bugs in it that I'm working out, but you get the idea of how the interface works. By the time this video's up, that'll probably be fixed. Yeah, you can mute. You can also set your input to whatever you want it to be. On Mac OS, you can have many inputs, like cross-device. But with iPad, you're just only going to have your one input, so you'll have to select from those. And so yeah, I can set the Fender link if I want as like the input, and you'll see signals coming through there. The last thing is the synthesizer. So let's go ahead and add a synth here. So we've added a synth here. If I just tap on it, you'll see that the synthesizer has a lot of stuff in it. And if you know how to work a synth, you should all be really familiar. But you've got a mixer for your A and B oscillators. These can dupe as much as they can, as much as you want, based on if you have it on poly mode or mono mode. Right now, it just defaults to the four voice poly and keys. There's a little key bed here just so that you can get sounds and hear what you're doing. And your voices, you can set them to go through IR cabs. So there's two IR cabs. You would select from here your wave files for your impulse response. And the way this is set up, you can set the voice control to go through the cabs how you want. So if voice 2 comes through, maybe it steals cab 1 or cab 2. But as you hit notes, so if I just open up the keys right now, and we'll drag up over here. So you'll see that those alternate. So your evens and odds go through cab 1 and cab 2, and you can do some really interesting stuff with your filtering there. There's also some like characteristic stuff that you can do to where you like it alternates in a random way. The tune even. And it just adds a little character to it to make it kind of human. You can hit this randomization. Yeah, anyway, it's not super noticeable, but it gets more noticeable when you have like filters and all kinds of stuff doing interesting things. Your filters, there's a lot of modes that you can use. I tried to have as many of the things that I look for. You can have there's 2 pages for your envelopes and 2 pages for your filters. You can link them so that they use the same one, but you can have them independently different so that the different voices are affected on different shapes of envelopes and stuff like that. I always use bit crushers, so this has a bit crusher in it and sample rate reduction, and you can pick your bits. Yeah, it's got a chorus, and so that you can do some like deep pads, really lush things. It's got a delay that is synced to the tempo of the host, and then reverb the same as the reverb that's in the amp. And yeah, I don't know. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, so you can do some really cool stuff. I mean, this is literally not trying to do anything, and that sounds already kind of cool. And yeah, very interesting. And your shapes, got some default shapes here, like harmonic sounds cool. Yeah, that's really fun. So yeah, that's the synth. So then what you would do is you can go into the MIDI tab and we can set track. Let's just delete this drum beat, long press, and then get on the delete button there. And let's change the output to the synth. And we'll go back here and we'll long press in the beginning of the track. Or sorry, not long press. Let's open the More menu in the top right corner. We can add a clip. And this is just doing some very simple patterns, and I have some, it's just math. It's not AI or anything generative. It's just literally math and different criteria for how it draws these patterns. So you can say I want an 8-bar loop. This pulse is really interesting, but I think we want something with like chords. So let's do a wander. Yeah, I like wander, just tapping on it. So do wander, and then we can do borrow chords, and then we can do chord overlap occasionally or always, so that we always have chords. And then we can pick the speed of the density of it. So like I would do, I don't know, quarter, and that looks good. So then I'll just insert that clip and we can play it and see what happens. Oh, let's go over here and mute this guitar because we don't need it for right now. And the drums, why not? Yeah, so there we go. Sounds really bad, but you know, the notes weren't very intentional, but you can do some really interesting stuff with the adding clips, and it's really just a good way to get you started. And you'll see that here we're looping, so turn off loop mode, and then we can go back and push play. Cool, yeah, and it passed the loop point, so there's that. You can save your projects and open new ones. You can name them by just tapping on the name. That's pretty self-explanatory, I think. You can put as many plugins as you want, well, 4 per track, and they will chain through in the order that you place them. So you can use your other AUV3 instruments in homecrate and do some cool stuff layering all of this. And of course, with the camera thing I mentioned earlier, that as well works in here, so you can do the camera. There's the tuner. You can also save your tunings. I think people are going to really love that. That's in the pro version, to where you can just recall tunings that you use commonly, and it can be more than just 6 strings. It can be lap steels, which is the reason I added that feature, is so I can save lap steel tunings. Yeah, there's a lot of settings in here too. Wireless audio, I'll have to get into that another day. Your count-in controls are all here. You can set your buffer duration if you have an older device, though this is a 2018 iPad, so I really don't think that there is a device that can't handle this. And yeah, you can export your mix, and that mix gets exported to your library from in homecrate. So if we close this out and we go back to the library, this is where all your tracks would be if you import them. So I have all of my music. I'm on a 120-day streak of using this app because all of my music is on here. So like if I open here, Boards of Canada, Daniel Johnston, Dinosaur Jr., all that stuff. But like I use this every single day, and it's my main music app, and I replaced Spotify, so that's pretty cool. So that's just a quick popcorn bounce around homecrate showing what it can do, and hey, it didn't crash once, so that's progress. I think these are really early days, so I do ask that you bear with me. I have a support form that you can fill out if you have any bugs you want to report, and I'll jump on them as soon as I get them. I've already been able to solve a few bugs, so yeah, looking forward to doing more. Excited to see what you make with homecrate. Take it easy.